Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Apostate Weekly. I'm your host, James.
And I'm Ryan.
And this week we are covering the final parts of the Norway trial. And before we get into the intro or anything, I wanted to just refresh everybody on the background of what this was all about. And then we'll get into more of it in a little bit. So before we roll the intro, I'm going to just read this off a little bit that I wrote up on this. So just bear with me here. So on Monday, March 4th, 2024, Norway handed down the verdict from the case of Jehovah's Witnesses versus Norway. As you may or not be aware, from the very first episode of Apostate Weekly, we have been reporting on and updating you on what's been happening with this case. Former witnesses, including Jan Frode Nielsen, and a group of strong women like Numi, Raquel, Hilde, and Therese, went up against Watchtower lawyer Anders Risdal and his team of lawyers, along with other current Jehovah's Witnesses. This trial is all about Norway stripping religious status from the witness organization over their violation of human rights by shunning children and ostracizing them to the extreme, and thus not allowing individual sovereignty when it comes to them either changing their minds or even if they wish to remain in. This started in 2021 when the religious group's registration was removed, and therefore they are now liable to pay taxes. Witness lawyers fought hard to get it back, and in the process obfuscate the truth about their practices by trying to get the use of the organization's literature as inadmissible during the trial. One final blow was when they were also stripped of being able to perform legal marriages. Then we had the 2-week trial in January of this year. This trial is setting precedents and should start to trickle out to other European countries. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and roll our intro, and then we're going to start talking about what that verdict is. So let's get into it. All right, and we are back talking about Norway once again. What a roller coaster it's been with this whole situation and leading up to the trial, huh?
Oh yeah, nail biting. I think a lot of us
Yeah.
were on the edge of our seats, just anxiously waiting for some kind of news.
And we're still leaving our viewers on the edge of their seats because we haven't given them the news yet. So let's start off.
Paps.
The news is the state won. Jehovah's Witnesses lost.
Whoop, 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 whoop,
That's
whoop.
what you get for shunning and ostracizing children, you bastards.
Yep.
You know, and the thing is, I was going through Jen's X Twitter feed, okay? And this was something that I thought was very pertinent to show how much work and effort Norway put into this decision that they made. Okay. Listen to this. It says written evidence has been taken from 2 digital factual extracts comprising 4,000 pages. 5 legal extracts amount to 9,400 pages. The dispositions for the case presentations and procedures are a total of 270 pages. So if you add up all those pages, the judge and those with him had to review and go through all that information before coming to their decision, whether to let witnesses have their religious status or to keep it in its revoked status.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not a decision they took lightly.
No, definitely not. And they've been dealing with this for years. I mean, even though it started back in 2021, I mean, they've honestly had trouble. The Jehovah's Witnesses have had trouble in these countries for a while, not being um, even registered as a
Yes.
religion and getting their subsidies. So as soon as they thought they were safe and out of the clear, Norway came back and said, hold up just 1 second here.
Exactly.
It is
And
really
like
good.
and like I said in my little um reading there, it's going to be a precedent for the rest of Europe because all these things that they took into consideration were based off the European Court of Human Rights. And Norway felt that the witnesses practicing shunning, especially with children involved, violates those rights. It violates them being able to keep their community. It violates them being able to make free and open decisions about whether they want to stay in the religion or not. And it violates just humanity and being humane towards them in general. If you're going to disfellowship kids and ostracize them, there have been so many research reports done on ostracism, and it even links to things like when prisoners are put into solitary confinement
Yeah.
and the mental insanity that can ensue from that. And when you're in this kind of solitary confinement in a social group, when you have no bars, but then you don't think you can talk to anybody else in the outside world, outside your bubble, and you can't talk to anybody inside your bubble, you might as well be inside those prison bars by yourself.
Yeah. It's severe psychological damage that you would suffer through in isolation. It's not normal for people to be on their own. Yeah, I understand there might be some people who are hermits, but to be forcefully excluded from your community, and that's what we're looking at. We're looking at people who have been surrounded by community, and then in just a blink of an eye, everything is pulled out from underneath of them. And that can cause somebody to want to die. Losing everything, hitting rock bottom, that's distressful. And
Yes.
I'm ever grateful. I'm so grateful that Norway has set this precedent, and I do hope that we can now get the ball rolling and just follow the leader. Start knocking them out, other
Yep.
countries on this issue. And hey, if that means that at some point they wake up, the Jehovah's Witness organization, and they change things simply because we're applying pressure, fine. I'm happy for any change that's going to help protect people. Really, truly.
Wow, Ken, that's crazy. You know 4 people personally that have taken their lives because of this religion. I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
I didn't know that,
That's
Ken.
that's so sad.
I'm giving you big hugs because that's
Yeah.
upsetting.
I mean,
It's deep.
and that's what the consequences of this religion's actions are right there.
Hmm.
You know, they are they need to be held accountable for anybody who has taken their life as a result of this. Anybody who is even in major depressions and anxiety ridden states because of it, they're accountable for.
We've discussed before that they should have what they should be forced to do is have some kind of, this is probably the wrong word, but evacuation plan for people. Like
Yeah.
when this happens, they have to have money set up to give to people because they might lose their jobs, they might lose their housing, they could be living with their parents and get kicked out, or whatever the situation is. They should have to put money into a pot for social programs, um,
Oh,
because of the
absolutely.
harm that they are causing to people, the strain they're putting on people's lives.
And at least then you could give them a partial reason for claiming charitable status,
Right.
you
Eh,
know?
yeah, that to me, I hate the fact that it's needed, right? But it is needed.
Yeah.
So I dislike it, but it would actually help people. And that to me would be beneficial. As much as I dislike the religion, I don't like their theocratic bullcrap and their warfare. that they take out on people. At least if there was a program to assist exiting, I guess I should say, not evacuating, exiting the religion,
Yeah.
then I could say, okay, they do put a little bit back into the community. A little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. But going door to door, that's not doing anything but lining the pockets of the governing body and wasting your time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's been said before that even going door to door, it's not a very effective method, but it's more of a method to keep the members indoctrinated to feel like they're being shut out of the world and the world hates them. And so they're when they go back and tell their experiences, they all have that feeling of, oh, this is the right religion because this is happening to us. We got doors slammed in our face, or somebody yelled at us today, and but so it keeps those members in even more, and then they keep contributing their money to the system that keeps on perpetuating these abuses within its system.
Yeah, every rejection is, well, they're expecting it and they kind of desire it, because if you're not being rejected, are you doing it right? Right?
Yeah.
Like are you being a Jehovah's Witness to the extreme enough that people will reject you? Because if everybody's just receiving you, you're probably not doing it right.
Oh yeah.
The victim mentality is just built into the religion naturally. It's just part of their
100%.
rhetoric. You should
Oh
just
yeah.
expect to be hated. And everything that comes at you, you internalize. And instead of doing any real reflection on it, that critical thinking just kind of turns off. And some other like stupid non sequitur just comes floating in to fix the situation.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm being persecuted. Jehovah loves me.
And remember the stance that Tony Morris, when he was still on the governing body, took
Oh,
before
yeah. Oh, he was bold.
he was.
He was
I got that
brazen.
clip. Want
You
me to
wanna
play that
watch
clip
it?
again? Yeah, let's
Yeah,
play that clip
let's
again. I got it
let's
loaded
play good
into
old
the
Tony.
No, you don't need to take off the stuff here. Put that
Oh,
back
okay.
because it's loaded up just like the intro song, so we won't be able to talk during it.
Oh, okay, okay.
To remove our legal registration because of our scriptural beliefs and practices regarding disfellowshipping. In the future, various governments will challenge our freedom of worship. They may pressure us to change our scriptural beliefs, but we're certainly not going to do that.
Certainly not.
There you have it. From the mouth of babes, I guess.
From the governing body member who got
Got
not
gotten.
excommunicated. Yeah, he got gotten. He got his pedestal got removed from him. He got
Yes.
down a peg or two.
Got knocked off his high horse.
Yeah, he sure did.
And that stance right there, though, is, I believe, one of the big reasons why Norway really put the effort into what they did to keep their religious status removed.
Yep. And Jonathan, you're 100% right. If a group is hated, that's bad. But for the governing body, that's the feature, not the bug. Keep them in fear and compliant.
Yep.
100% chasing your tail in fear. It's all
Exactly.
part of it.
And Hemet Meta, I don't know if anybody on here knows who that is, but he's has a web podcast called The Friendly Atheist. I'm sorry. The Thinking Atheist is Seth Andrews. Sorry. The Friendly Atheist. And he actually wrote an article about this on his website at friendlyatheist.com about Norway removing their religious status for Jehovah's
Yeah.
Witnesses. And I thought this was very interesting in this article. Actually, I'll go ahead and share the screen on this one so everybody can read along with this. Because he started talking about the kinds of groups that can and can't receive money in Norway, and where Norway draws its lines, so to speak, in the sand for giving their money or taking it away. And this was very interesting, I thought, right here. He says, If a religious or philosophical community or individuals acting on behalf of the community commits violence or coercion, makes threats, violates children's rights, violates statutory discrimination, prohibitions, or in other ways seriously violates the rights and freedoms of others, society may be denied grants or grants may be suspended. Grants may also be refused or reduced if society encourages or provides support for violations mentioned in this section. So that's the law that Norway has in place already for whether they grant or deny these funds to religions.
And it's discrimination.
Absolutely.
It is being discriminative against one of your own people for their betterment.
I know.
Where is that? What? Show me, please show me the evidence that helps people and fixes them. Show me where discriminating against somebody is in the end helpful. I'll wait for the statistics.
Oh yeah.
Where's the research paper on that? Data.
The way I always look at this is they're going backwards thinking they're going to make progress.
Right.
It's
like more weapons fixes the problem. More hate.
And I mean, and if anybody remembers remember that convention video where the girl got disfellowshipped and it showed how the parents wouldn't even answer a phone call from her?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So in that video, if you remember, what was the reason she went back?
I don't know, but I would assume it's because she missed her parents.
Yeah. She missed her family.
Yeah.
So she had to go back and humiliate herself by sitting in the back for however long, to show repentance, and then when she finally did get back, oh, I got my family back and I wanted to be with my family. It had very, very little to do with, what it was supposed to be about, your relationship with God and all that. More to do with wanting to be in your family's good graces and be able to talk to them.
Right. And all of the, just speaking from experience, the shame and humiliation of having to do that, of groveling for me for a year and a half, no problem. For a year and a half, I had to grovel, and I was pregnant at the time, and my head was just so, I don't know, destroyed, because I did feel shame, and not only for myself, but I felt shame for my family. I don't know, you have to lose all kind of dignity to put yourself in that position, to humble yourself, to beg forgiveness from people that you never harmed, right?
Yeah.
You're almost, I don't know. I don't even like thinking about it, but.
Well, yeah, I mean, because how many times did you see somebody get disfellowshipped in your lifetime? And it wasn't for anybody. I never saw anybody get disfellowshipped for apostasy. Usually it was because they had sex or they did something that they weren't supposed to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dogs are extra loud this morning.
That's okay. They're excited about Norway.
Yes, they're excited about Norway.
But, all these things just lead, it doesn't, as we were saying before, these feelings of humiliation and isolation aren't helpful. They're not constructive. They just lead to more patterns of abuse. I think that you, and I think I did, was more acceptive of abuse because I wasn't a good person, right?
Well, you were told you weren't a good person.
Yeah, right. Mentally, you think you're a POS. You're depressed. You're down. You hate your life. You hate yourself. You think Jehovah hates you. The congregation doesn't like you. They don't want to be associated with you.
Hey, Sam, welcome back.
Sam,
Missed you, buddy.
your
I was
toast
just
is
thinking
burnt.
about you the other day, man.
I think he burnt his toast.
I think so. Maybe that's why he's late. He burnt his toast.
That's probably what happened. Yes, I had to write 2 letters myself. I had to write 2 letters. Uh-huh. Yep, gravel.
I have, as far as I know, I've never been disfellowship, so I've never had to write one of those letters.
As far as you know.
Well, you know how they can still disfellowship in absentia, so
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't know if the last congregation I went to disfellowship me or not. I have no clue.
Yeah, and some of these cases you probably would have no idea, and they might not even have any idea after a while.
Yeah.
Do they even know who they're shunning? I wonder. Do they got a master list in the Kingdom Hall that they just check every once in a while just to be certain? Like, oh shoot, that's right. We're shunning that brother.
Let's see if he wants to continue to still be shunned.
And honestly, think about all the relationships. If you were lucky to get disfellowshipped and have other relationships that you can lean on, how trusting of any other relationship, whether it be marriage, friendship, will you feel confident in? Will you feel comfortable? Because quite frankly, you have an experience of losing everything. And in your mind, you may struggle to connect with people because at the end of the day, your fear is they will just be taken away from you as well. Even if that's not the case, even if they're not Jehovah's Witnesses, you've just lived through such a horrifying, isolating, torturous experience. Like, you don't want to go through that again.
No, you don't.
They will
And
chase you down to the ends of the earth.
like a Jason Bourne. You know, in some cases, yes. Like they didn't do that with me at all. But I mean, they had my phone number and stuff when I left, but nobody ever called me after I stopped going to my last Kingdom Hall. Nobody ever called me, texted me, nothing. Not a thing. So I was
Not
like,
surprised.
I'm good with this. You know, you're not bothering me, so I don't have to worry about telling y'all to F off.
And we've talked about the studies before. I know we've discussed the studies on people who've been like shunned and it caught. I know I have CPTSD from other things in my life, but I definitely have PTSD from being shunned.
Yeah.
It's flipped a tiny little switch in there that's always just cautious and careful and got my peepers out. Like I've always got that radar down for the next shoe to drop.
And even with that, like there's a new term that's been going around, religious trauma syndrome.
Yes, I never
know?
heard of that until I got onto TikTok and I was like, "Oh my god, that is me." Like I finally had answers as to why I behave the way that I do because I always just felt different from people and now I get it. It is
Yeah.
honestly because of the trauma, from the religious trauma, the abuse, the rhetoric, the horrible things that we have to even look at. So much so that I was looking at apocryphal things, months ago, and I had a bad dream. Jonathan, he had a weird shunning dream 2 days ago.
Yeah. We have
This
another
stuff doesn't leave your mind.
this had a shunning dream last night. I mean, yeah.
Dude.
The
Dude.
the pain and torture of this is real.
It is in your freaking psyche. No, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but no amount of therapy is ever going to cure it. It is a part of us now. It's something we have to be aware of. It's like a broken finger that we can't use, right? Like we just have that part of our brain we have to be aware of now because of how it has affected us.
Yeah, you're never going to be cured, but I do think that over time, and especially with therapy and everything, the right therapist too, because not every therapist understands these issues, especially with the religion
No.
involved and all that. But you can learn how to manage them and recognize when you're getting triggered and then deploy whatever techniques they teach you to deal with it better. So you don't go down the rabbit hole as far as you might have used to have gone before.
And our brains are resilient. Like, I'm not being like, oh, it's a poor me, woe is me. Our brains are resilient, and I know that I am a bounce back kind of person. Even when I get down, like, it might take me a little bit, but I will always come back better and stronger and learn. And we absolutely can work on our mental health and our emotions and dealing with those negative feelings that come up because what we were introduced to at a very young age, most of us anyway. And we can reduce that impact of the negative rhetoric and ideologies that have been ingrained in us. So I'm not trying to say like, oh, we're just ruined human beings, but the reality is we will always be working on what was implanted in us when we were at a very vulnerable age. And
Yeah.
it needs to be talked about more.
Well, and the other thing that studies have shown too, when people are abused, especially at young ages, our psyches tend to stay
Mm.
stuck in that age as well.
Yeah.
So when we
Yeah.
get to comes to normal development, we're stunted mentally in that way, and we're held back to whatever time that abuse happened to us was.
Yeah, no, honestly, y'all, sometimes I wonder if one of the reasons why people like aren't sure of my age is because of how I act. And I'm not putting anything on like I'm just who I am, but I think part of it is that I was a little bit stunted at that time period. Like, my brain was so focused on, honestly, on dark. I did my best. Like, life wasn't like misery, but it was hard.
Yeah.
But having a year and a half of your life, like, in that kind of shadowy cloud, ooh, that takes a lot of climbing out and a lot of changes and retrospection.
Yeah.
And I'm only doing that
Does.
now. Like, I didn't have the wherewithal really to do it. I mean, I thought about it, but I didn't really understand what was happening to me. Now that I have the full picture is when I'm really
Well,
starting to heal.
you also didn't have the vocabulary in your life to
No,
recognize what it was either. You
nope,
were never taught that. So,
nope.
you know, when you left, you did what I did. You started getting on the internet, getting on TikToks and YouTubes and all this, and you start seeing these videos pop up, and then, it goes from one thing to another, and you start hearing these new terms, and it starts actually giving a name to what you were going through and what you went through, and you start finding yourself relating to that so well because you're like, oh wow, now I have a name for it. Now I know what to call it. Now I can
Yeah.
really do some introspection on this and see what other parts of my life it's affected. And now you can start to heal from it once you can recognize what it is.
Yeah. Break the cycle. I was in that cycle. I was in that cycle of abuse. And I would even say that there were times I might have even been looking for it because I thought that was how it was supposed to
She's
be. And if
21.
somebody, what?
You put that comment up. I said she's 21.
Oh, yes, I'm
That one.
21. I'm 21. Thank you very much. But yeah, it is a cycle. There are patterns. And again, I say it over and over and over. It is intentional. Everything they do is absolutely how they mean it to be. This
Yes.
isn't accidental. We are meant to be in a literal fight for our lives in our brains at all time because of the incoming information we are just being hit with from this organization.
Oh, by the way, while I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
Alora, I hope you don't mind. Please tell me you don't mind. Tomorrow will be Alora's
Too
birthday,
late.
so happy birthday to Alora.
Oh,
So
happy birthday to Alora. Happy birthday to Alora. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. It's too late. You already got it, Alora.
so if anybody
Yes,
ever
I'm in my 40s.
if anybody ever would like us to shout out their birthday or whatever, feel free to message us. I only know because Laura's in our Discord and she mentioned it this morning. So that's why I remembered to shout it out. But with that being said, let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to copy our Discord link in the server, in the chat here, for anybody who wants to join our Discord at Apostate Coalition. So we have a good chat group there. We've gotten a lot of new people joining us lately, and the conversations have been so crazy that like I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up and there'll be like over 100 messages. I'm like, yeah, I'm not reading all that.
Oh no, I can't. I don't even know how to look for the tags if somebody's tagged me.
Like me.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh God, somebody tagged me. How do I figure this out? What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do here? Damn it.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
I love the community. I am so happy to be building community. Even if it's just memes sometimes, y'all. I don't think we realize how important it is to have that release because there are other people who don't understand what we live through, that loss, the isolation, the impact on who we are as people, like, that we've kind of been molded into be a specific kind of person. And now we're trying to formulate who we are all on our own, and be a
Yep.
mindful, compassionate person when we may not have been taught to be empathetic or caring about other people in the way that we really should. Instead of caring
Yes.
about people's spirituality, we care about them genuinely and not conscripted into this definition of love by JW standards, which is just going to the Kingdom Hall
Well, I
and
mean,
door
their
to door.
definition of love is always conditional, anyways.
Everything's
And
based on a condition. If this,
they
then that.
and I love how they always try to take the scripture about in the last days people will have no natural affection, but yet they have zero natural affection themselves when it comes to their love, especially when they disfellowship you and shun you and kick you out for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, really, no smoking, birthdays. These are no reasons. Sex.
Even sex.
Why
Yeah.
is it so like sex is not taboo. It is natural. We are born supposedly to want to mate. Not everybody. There are some people who are asexual, but for the most part, we're born to want to get it on, to bang, bang, bang.
That's
So
right.
why are we going against what God naturally gave us? As long as it's consensual, do what I don't care where you stick it. Well, again, consensually. But I mean, really, literally, I don't care. I can't
you
handle
can
this.
stick it where the sun don't shine.
You can stick it where the sun don't shine. Pick a hole, any hole. I don't mind. That is up to you, boo. Do you?
Or
Sure.
do somebody consensually.
Yeah. Do you or do somebody else?
You have choices.
So many choices, and you don't have to be in fear of it.
No,
I
you
mean, as long
don't.
as you're protected, use protection. Then otherwise, you might have some fear. But y'all know what I'm saying. We're
But
we're
that's just the whole
adults. We
thing, though.
understand.
The whole taboos of all of these things that they put on sex and masturbation and oh, your son or your daughter went and watched a porno or or did something else, whatever else it was.
Tight pants.
Tight pants. I know, right? Oh, sisters, are your skirts above your knees?
Stop looking. Avert your eyes. Like right there in the scripture, Jesus says to rip out your own damn eyes. Or is it Paul? Jesus or Paul? One of them had some good words of wisdom that said, rip your damn eyes out if you can't keep your ish together. If you can't stop yourself from getting a boner when you see a skirt that comes to the knee, you probably have a problem.
Yes, exactly.
Because I can't control what you do. And as we discussed last week, it doesn't matter what people wear, people are going to get aroused. pillows. Pillows can be arousing, okay? So if a pillow can arouse you, what am I going to do? I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the be all end all, but really, what am I going to do? Do you think that like and honestly, if I covered myself, I might look like a pillow.
Yeah.
So then you might be more attracted to me.
But I mean, how many? I wonder how many drawings were on those pillows in Bethel.
Did they put like eyes and eyebrows? Wait, I want
Butts.
to know, did they cut a hole in the mouth and the backside? Or where's
They just ripped a hole in the seam. they ripped it a new one. Those are those holy pillows.
Oh God. You know, I watched this. Okay, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I am going to tell you this. I watched this TikTok, and there's this account that creates devices to masturbate in.
What channel is that? Send it to me. I gotta see this.
I can't even remember, but they took a Solo cup, right? They took a Solo cup. They got 2 sponges, got them warm and soaking wet, stuck the sponges in, and then they took like a glove and wrapped it around and tucked it inside of where the sponges were.
So the red Solo cup really lifted them up.
It got them up all right.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, how did we get? Who did this? Who
Hump
did
day!
this? Hump day. All this sexual comedy is also humped. Masternating.
What better day to have
Wait.
it on? JWMJ? I mean, really?
Masternate. Oh my God, y'all. I can't instead of masturbate. It's masternate. Oh, that's great. I love you guys. I'm so glad you get my humor. Our humor, should I say.
Are we finished?
I think our climax is at hand.
Oh man. That made me think of that Revelation book meme. It says instead of saying revelation, it said masturbation. It's grand climax at hand.
Yes, that is something that Jonathan needs to put on a t-shirt.
I actually did a video on masturbation on my other channel, my Formative Free channel.
That's called porn.
No, I didn't actually do a demonstration here now. Just discussions. And I didn't say Pornhub either. I said Formative Free channel.
I'm crying. Oh,
maybe Formative Free ballin', something like that. I don't know.
And I'm free
ballin'. Oh yes, I love it. Left-handed Jedi. I came for the cookies, but stayed for the climax. Well,
oh dear.
As Lincoln Park says, in the end, it doesn't even matter.
No. Oh, may he rest in peace.
Yes. And then along with that video, if you know who Bridget Pfister is, her YouTube channel, it's called Bridget Pfister. She actually did a video on masturbation as well from a woman's perspective after I did that video, and I participated in it with her. So if y'all are interested in that, go check those videos out.
Oh yeah, definitely. We make sure you go watch and like boost. Who was on Spaceballs?
Yeah. Who? I don't know.
Sister Pfister?
Yeah, that's who it is. She's right.
Okay.
But her name is Bridget Pfister, and now, quit being dirty. It's Pfister. Thank you. I know. I've had the same thoughts too before. I'm bad.
Oh goodness gracious. Oh God, I can't wait for the comment to somebody to say like, "Oh, this is serious stuff. You guys are so horrible for reporting this way."
It was a group thing, Ken. What can I say?
In a Bayesian video.
Well, she also has a series on her channel about the sexual stuff in Watchtower magazines as well.
Oh,
So,
really? Like the connotation, like the innuendo?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That
I'll send
sounds
you a
good.
link to her channel.
Yeah. You should.
But anyways, I think we're gonna leave it at that for today.
Have we said enough?
I think so.
Have we said too much?
Not nearly.
But this is great news, y'all. This is honestly, I'm over the moon. The fact that the Jehovah's Witnesses have lost it, like completely lost it all after years of however much money they've taken in donations and sank into this sinking ship. Can't help that, but at least we now have a decision and the propensity to continue this ball rolling. I'm all about that. James, where'd you go? Did you disappear?
I'm here. What the heck?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Are you in a different room?
No, my
James disappeared.
something flipped my camera and I have no idea what. That's my desk.
Back.
I don't know why my camera got flipped. I didn't touch anything.
Oh dear. James's new computer is haunted. He shouldn't have bought that demonized computer, but he just had to have the Microsoft, and we know what Microsoft is doing. They are downloading or uploading demons into the chip that was implanted in you when you got your COVID vaccination.
Microsoft, does that mean they have small, soft penises?
Yes. Now you are Microsoft because of their implant. just by the push of a button, they just go, meh.
Darn. I wanted to be more like Intel and be inside.
It's what's inside. Oh God. Okay, we shut us up. Somebody shut us up. It's time to go.
Yeah, it's time to go. It's the end of the show, y'all. Come on, give it up.
Yeah, finish. Please wrap it up. Wrap it up, then finish.
Wrap it up, then finish. Yeah. Always be safe, right? Always be safe.
Don't go unprotected.
Yes.
This is the internet. You could catch something.
Yes.
Especially from us.
Yes.
It's catchy. Whatever we have, it's catchy. Oh,
So,
brother.
Anyways, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. Whatever you want to say about it being over with.
He's jacking off camera?
He's just off camera.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I misread it.
Oh my God. Oh, geez.
You're honestly really bad people. You know that, right?
You are such a terrible person. I love you.
I know. You're horrible, and that's why I love you.
That's right. And our audience, same to you.
Yeah. Make sure you apostate your way.
Or masturbate your way.
Don't listen to those people who tell us we have to behave a certain way and deliver the news a certain way and look at the Jehovah's Witnesses through a certain lens. You are your own individual. We are now realizing we don't have to be part of the pack. You should be here because you want to, because you care about us as individuals, just as we care about you.
Yes. But with that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful week. We will be back with you next week with some more news coming at you live. It was great to be able to give this good news to y'all today about Norway, and keep on keeping on, everybody. Definitely appreciate y'all joining us every week, and have a great day and a great week.
Apostate your way.
Love y'all.
Be blessed.
See y'all next week.